where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And today is Monday, I think. Yeah. Monday morning, 10 a.m., depending on, go. See, I got to get on top of the dogs already. I'm like, go. Stay over there. Sorry about that. The kids are acting up. You know how it is. They don't respect my equipment when I let them in here. Then they don't know how to act, bumping into stuff. All of that mess that's going on. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today is Monday, the 17th, maybe. Yep, the 17th. Haha, got it right. Yeah. And it is 10 a.m., like I said, depending on where you're at. Now, I see people logging in to the live show. People are saying, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up? What's up? All right, there we go. I like to see that. I like to see the cavalry coming in. Yeah, buddy. Lets you know that you are not alone. I am here with you. Yeah. So it's good to see some people checking me out early in the morning. I hate to have to do this to you. Somebody said, what in the world Marjorie Taylor Greene do? Well, we're about to see. I'm gonna try my best to be, what is it? Objective, subjective. What's the one where you're open? Is it subjective or objective? I think it's subjective, something like that. I'm gonna try to be open-minded, but we don't want to just say that and not have anything to support or back up what I'm talking about when I say somebody has broken my heart. Because when you mostly cyborg, you don't really, your heart don't really break like that. You know what I'm saying? When you like 99% cyborg, you got 1% of heart. You know what I'm saying? Human heart. And then you get that 1% abused. It ain't cool, man. It ain't cool. So as I see people logging in, I'm not going to prolong the hour because, people got stuff to do, especially in the morning. So let me go ahead and get loose so I can get busy and when everybody else logs in, they get in where they fit in. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Like a real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some teens in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, I saw somebody just ask me about the new laptop. Nope, sure didn't. I don't know if you're familiar with Apple products, but yeah, it's a pretty penny. I'm gonna need some serious donations from everybody. So it'd be nice. It'd be nice if you know what? Let me see. Let me think how I could do this. Let's see. All right. So on an average, at the end of the day, I usually have about, when it's all said and done, about 100 people to watch the live stream. If everybody gave $2, I'd have a laptop. I just came up with that. Brilliant. Whoever prompted me to say that. $2. If everybody gave $2 to my, say, CASHAPP, I'd have the money. I'd go straight and get the laptop. I'd bring it right in here before I do my show, and I'd celebrate with you guys, and I'd show you the laptop. That's what I do. I'll be like, look what we did together. Now we can move on with joy and happiness and not stressing me out trying to get this stuff done on a very, very older model. Yeah. So, that's just a thought. But I don't mind people just donating or helping out to the channel any way you want, even if it's a nickel, dime, penny, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everything is warranted. It's accepted and it's appreciated too. Now, outside of that, don't forget, check out Kevin's Corner store because you can also support the show through purchasing some merch. Somebody said YouTube takes 30%. They do. They take 30%. And I love when people give in the super chat. But the only problem with that is they are going to take. Plus, not only that, they divvy it out. It's weird. I don't know their payment schedule. Like say, for example, if somebody gave maybe $30 5 days ago, and then somebody gives $30 today, they might not combine that at the end of the month. So, it'll be $30 and then the next month after that, depending on how it falls. So it's kind of weird. That's why I always say if you want to support the channel in more of an urgent, direct way with bypassing them. If you got Cash App or PayPal, that is probably the easiest and the quickest way to do it. And trust me, I'm not going to go out and buy some new alligator shoes. Okay, I'm definitely going to go out and purchase the laptop because, yeah, I need one. I can't believe it, man. I'm brokenhearted over that. I'm still busted up, and I want to get to the bottom of the mystery. People are suggesting that Gizmo might have peed on it, but I can't blame him because he was on the floor at the time and it was up on a dresser. So I don't know. I seriously, to this day, have no idea how that laptop just had spontaneous combustion of water. Somebody said, got a P.O. box? Nope, but I will give you an address to send it to if you email me. Please do it. Let me see who said that. All right. If you got my email is right below. It's Kevin Ellerby Corner 32 at Gmail. You email me and say, hey, I'm from YouTube or whatever. I'll straight up help you out and give you the exact link or the address to send it to, whatever you want to send. Now, also, I see people asking for the Cash App. If Dawn is on this morning, and I'm sure she'll be on pretty soon, she probably could link the Cash App in the chat. And if not, the link is also below each video. So even after the video is over, you can go right down in the description area and you'll see Cash App and you'll see my PayPal link as well. So either one of those will definitely go straight to me. I see crazy chick Sheena is back all the way from Ireland. Yeah, buddy. All right, so there we go. And as time goes on, like I said, I'll see if I can get that Cash App posted for you guys. Make it nice and easy for you. Not nice and easy for you. Or my PayPal link as well. So with that being said, also the number on the screen, 330-974-4607 is the number you can text MAGA to just in case they disappear me off the internets. I have a way to let everybody know they disappeared me. Come find me somewhere else, which you could also find me on my alternative channel, which is also listed in the description boxes below as well. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. And before we jump into what Marjorie Taylor Greene has been up to, let's start off with a final, diagnosis, y'all. Now, we've been running around saying, TDS is real and all of that stuff. Well, guys, we got us a professional that came out and done diagnosed it and labeled it as a real disease, y'all. So now we can legitimately, diagnose people that have Trump derangement syndrome because of this gentleman right here. So let's get into it, all right? Yeah, TDS is real, man. It's a real thing.
TDS. Does anyone know what TDS is?
Yeah.
Correct. Trump derangement syndrome.
Yup.
First of all, identify it for us. You're in a session and you pick up on what?
Well, Harris, it doesn't take long for me to pick up on this. People are obsessed with Trump. They're hyper fixated on Trump. And they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized. But
you hear that? That man said it ain't hard to pick up on. It's quick. As soon as they come up in there. All right, what are you here today for? Well, I was wondering, I have a sleeping disorder I can barely. You know what, that darn Trump? He's a white supremacist, xenophobe, homophobe. I'm sorry. Let me get back to that. You know what? I have obsessive compulsive disorder because of Trump. So it's easy to pick up on it. I mean, we see it every day, all the time. TDS all over the place, in my face. So yeah, this guy is a professional. And he said, man, people come up in that bad boy and in seconds, it leaks out. It's hard to contain. It comes out. And so he says things like can't sleep. Now, I don't know about you, but when creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe was in office, I slept like a baby. I mean, granted, I despised him as a leader. I despised the Democrat Party, but I sleep like a baby most of the time. I even slept during the election, the first one in 2016. I didn't even wait for the results. I went to sleep, woke up in the morning, we won. I was like, what? Yes. So there's a point where you say, okay, I got to function as a human being in society and not let politics completely rule my life. So now this good doctor, is brave enough to come out and actually declare that Trump derangement syndrome is a problem. People will be like, at night I can't sleep. I toss and turn. candlesticks in the dark, visions of Trump. So let's
By
continue.
Mr. Trump. They feel restless. I had one patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered.
Who are these sick people?
Exactly. Exactly. Man, the fact that you even using the word triggered. What is that, man? I mean, come on, dude. Certain things trigger you. It's unbelievable. And once again, they need to grow up on the playground. Yeah, that's where I saw this cutie. They needed to grow up on Kev's playground. Where if you showed us that you get triggered by something, oh, you already know. You tell us, you know what, I got this big old cut on my elbow. You know the kids are going to go poking at it. They're going to go poking at it. So, yeah, man, these folks are getting triggered and, they see Trump, they can't sleep, they can't enjoy their vacations and stuff like that. I find this hilarious, but let's continue though.
I laugh when people say, oh, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. If you're a reasonable person, you should have Trump derangement syndrome.
Now, see, that's the whole opposite. If you're a reasonable person, you shouldn't be walking around consumed by Trump. And they wonder why we laugh. They wonder why we're able to meme them into oblivion. They wonder why. They wonder why conservatives have a subtle confidence. They walk amongst these people with confidence. They walk amongst all of these people with a purpose. We don't let it dominate us. We don't sit back and say, you know what, we got to go and hide under a rock until we still function in society. We don't let, our politics drive us to have unnecessary protests every 5 minutes and stuff like that. We don't let it compromise our common sense to where we get on the internets and start yoking out all kind of crazy stuff that we don't stop to think that maybe this might come back to bite me. Maybe this might immortalize me on the internets because I'm freaking out over creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe or Kamala or whatever. You don't do that. You don't get on there celebrating, people's calamities and violence and stuff like that. And then wonder why you got fired. See, that TDS a mess with your common sense and your decision making. See, and we don't let it do that. I'm going, what? I don't know if it's healthy to leak out every thought and feeling that you got. Okay, reserve some for yourself, but not these folks. Yeah, that TDS leaks out like a runny nose.
These people are sick.
Yeah,
These people are sick.
Let's see some examples.
So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
Ooh.
These people come to you for the things that you described. Can't sleep, traumatized, perhaps depression. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But at first, you are there to treat an illness, a disorder of some kind. And what you figure out is the trigger.
Well, and Trump is the trigger for many.
Trump is the trigger. Trump the trigger, baby. So y'all hear that? These people done went ahead and allowed us to now have a new mental health disease. Trump done went ahead and broke a whole heap of folk. He broke some folk. So we got us a new mental disorder, y'all. Trump derangement syndrome. It's legitimized now. It's legitimized. Now, everywhere I go, I'm walking around with my Poindexter glasses on. I'm going to have me a clipboard and everything, some paper. Sir, you might want to calm down because what I think you're experiencing and suffering from is Trump derangement syndrome. Oftentimes, it can make you color your hair purple. Then put man buns in your hair, and it'll cause a lot of bass in your voice to become treble. Most of the time the treble goes out over Trump derangement syndrome. The bass rather, and you just get a lot of treble. You'll often find yourself speaking through your nostrils. Like this, like that. Yeah. Your testosterone levels will drop tremendously. Yeah. I'm gonna start diagnosing folks. I'm not gonna argue with these people. I'm just going to put them in the category. There's no reason to argue with this person. This person is obviously suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. So let's continue hearing about this new mental disorder.
Many of these people, and to be that fixated on a figure, on a person, it's simply not healthy.
I had to move to Ireland because I knew
Here's one.
that Trump is a sick, sick man.
Yeah, she might be the poster child. That's right. If they do commercials, are you finally find yourself staying up late at night thinking about Donald Trump? If so, you might be suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, man. So there's one right there. It caused her to leave the country. Man, left the country, but didn't leave it. Mentity. Okay, mentity. She's still over here. Trump is all in that dome. He's running through her dome. So now here she is talking about Trump got an illness. He's the one that's sick.
And our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s when President Reagan was shot, people were united. He famously said, "I hope you're all Republicans," to the surgeons, and the response was, "Today, Mr. President, we're all Republicans." But our country has lost that. We've strayed so far from that unity.
Yeah, we sure have. Yeah, the country was completely divided when Trump got shot in the ear. I mean, you got people out there was hoping and wishing that he would, have gotten killed. And I'm sitting there like, no, that's some serious TDS right there. And we see it all the time. They leave it all over the internet. It's to the point where you can't hide it. And see, that's the thing. When you are having some type of mental breakdown or you got a mental illness, you can't hide it. It'll leak out. Crazy will always let you know one way or another. A twitch here or there, a eye, maybe doing one of these. You're like, wait, what's going on with that eye? Nothing. Yeah. See, the stare off into the, I was watching Full Metal Jacket the other day. Remember that? If y'all ever seen Full Metal Jacket, one of the best Army movies ever. And you could tell when they finally broke Gomer Pyle, the fat dude. Yeah, he was sitting there like this, the eyes. And I'm like, uh-oh, he got those crazy eyes. Looking through those eyes, I was like, oh, he's done. He's crazy. Nobody can see that. You can't see that on that person. Well, yeah, that's what happens. It always leaks out somehow with these people. And oftentimes you'll see it come in the form of these idiots right here. You see that right there? Those people right there? They got the nerve to have a sign saying shame, shame. But yet they spend time and money to go dress up like handmaidens. Okay. They went and got costumes, and they don't want us to look at them as crazy. They want us to take their protest seriously. And I'm going, is this Halloween? Is what? Where we coming from? A costume party? You shouldn't be dressed up like characters unless it's Halloween or you're going to a costume party. Other than that, I'm just going to assume you're crazy. Simple as that. I told you about the guy who would come to salsa dance. Older dude, he thought he was fresh, y'all. And he would wear stuff that you should only wear in a particular context. One day he came in with chaps. Full-blown chaps. You know what chaps are. Cowboys wear them. Chaps. So I would always, confront him on that silliness. What's up, man? Hey, you just came from the rodeo? Huh? Yeah, you just came from the rodeo? Nah. Well, you got chaps on. I'll make you have to confront that. I'll be like, you got chaps on. He'd be like, yeah, I mean, I'll be like, oh, hey, that's your style. It's on you, bro. It's on you. And walk away. That dude was self-conscious the whole night about them chaps. Yeah, he came in with an underarm shirt on, like he just came from the gym. Skinny as heck. Bird chest, everything. But he had dress pants on. He was mismatching. Yeah, you was party up top, business down low. Full-blown Under Armour shirt. And then had some baggies on with some black patent leather shoes. And I came to him and was like, what's up, dog? You just came from the gym? No. I'm like, oh, you did that on purpose? Oh, okay. Hey, I saw the Under Armour shirt. I thought you might have just came from the gym. Usually when you wear that shirt, it's because you just came from working out. He was self-conscious the whole night. Wonder if anybody else recognizes it. I'm like, yeah. I'm going to call out that silliness when you go and put on a costume, okay, out of context. So these women have costumes out of context, talking about some shame. They are the ones that should be shamed.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see? Because you told me off camera 3/4 of your patient load right now has what you're calling this TDS.
Well, 3/4 of my patients will present with a lot of these symptoms, and within probably 5 minutes of seeing me, their hatred for Trump comes up. So if you're that hyper-focused on Trump, that's a real issue.
That's a real issue. And a high percentage of folks that see this man is suffering from this. Boy, now this is sad, y'all. This is a sad state of affair. And, you know, what's really sad about it is when you look at these people who they've rewired their whole life around what Trump says, what he does, and all that stuff, what they think he's going to do. One, they're victims of a systematic effort to brainwash them into thinking this way. And it's sad because the people who did it don't care about their mental health. They don't care about the, unity of our country. They don't care about that because they have, for generations now, probably fractured our country to a point where it will be really hard to unify the country again. And with that amount of people, depending on where you're at, what city, what state you're in, I mean, it's real hard. I'm sure there are some states that got a heavy dose of folks suffering from TDS that would never be able to get along with us. I mean, it's going to be one of those things where you just like, look, until, you just die, you're probably going to die with TDS. It ain't like this stuff going to run through their system. But I do love the cases where people, for whatever reason, get over it. They realize that, wait a minute, somebody gave me this mess, okay? I didn't just randomly catch it. And they wake up. They come out of the TDS. And I love those stories. But unfortunately, we got some stories where, I don't know. I mean, I just hope the generations that go on, after Trump is gone and everything, I hope that at some point people will regain some sanity and we can start uniting the country a little more. But right now, the way these folks are acting, I don't see it, man. And I'm sitting there going, you're making it real hard for me to say, let's make an effort to get along. You do realize that when I hear y'all out there celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, when I see y'all doing things like that, I'm going, I don't know if I want to live around folks like this. And we're going to give you some more examples too.
And it's worth being treated.
Yep, this is how they are. This is how they feel like. Yep, that's how they are. Democrats. Can't enjoy themselves.
He's a thing that doesn't understand. Trump does not understand anything about humanity, people. He has no empathy. I don't know what he is, but he's an alien.
He's an alien, y'all. That is a heavy dose, a heavy case of TDS. That man, along with Rosie O'Donnell, ruined her career. Do you know how many folks in entertainment have destroyed their careers over Trump derangement syndrome? Tons of them. I mean, they don't realize that. Like, the most important thing for you should be, like Mark Ruffalo. Every time I see him, I'm like, get him out of here. There's so many actors and actresses that I admired. And then when I saw how they just went crazy on the Trump derangement syndrome, I can't look at them the same anymore. I wouldn't watch a movie. This dude got a new series on Netflix. I mean, people say, oh, it's pretty good. I'm going, I'll never know. I'm not watching this dude because I know underneath all of that, that dude is suffering from some TDS. And he's the one that like to spread it. See, he like to spread it. So guys, look at this.
Trump has declared war on our immigrant neighbors.
Yeah. ICE. Abolish ICE.
See this, young, stupid people? There it is. Yeah, it has a tendency to really spread amongst the young dumbs. Yeah, the young dumbs, it gets on them real quick and easy. Trump has declared the war on our immigrant neighbors. Now, where do you think that young girl got that from? Immigrant neighbors, that's what you've reduced it to? You're not going to qualify that and say, are illegal immigrant neighbors that should not be in the country? That makes them not your neighbor, okay? All right, so this is the stuff that produces a lot of Trump derangement syndrome. Listen to this. No ICE or police. That's when liberalism gets in the bone and it metastasizes. Metastasize. There it is. It gets in the bone. You're too far gone when you're talking about no ICE or police until the crap goes down. Until that rat-a-tat-tat and all the cops scattered. Yeah, when the bullets start flying or somebody start breaking in your crib, then you're talking about where's the police? You're not even able to think it through. You don't realize the purpose of the police. the necessity of the police, where you get so woke where you're saying no police. So let's just go back to just straight every man for himself. That's how y'all run a roll. But let's continue watching all of these folks that's suffering from this disease.
These are bad people. These are sick degenerates.
Yeah, like the fact that you even take time out of your schedule to go out there and protest to keep folks in the country that not only shouldn't be here, but you don't even know these folks. I mean, I'm assuming some of these people are getting paid, but on the flip side, I'm sure some of these people are believers. They're like, yo, I'm going down there and I'm going, who's doing this? If I don't know you, okay, you think I'm going to be going down there? I'm like, well, what did they do? I mean, should they be here or not? There's questions that need to be asked before you lend your protest out for stuff. And we're going to see examples of that. These people don't believe nobody should be deported.
Having that ability to pull families apart is not a good thing.
I'd always wondered.
See, easily brainwashed, having the ability to pull families apart. And as a sane person, we see how this all unfolded. We see them getting on TV every night, Democrats and fake news, talking about how these families are being ripped apart. And they know that idiots like this are going to internalize that instead of saying, no, wait a minute. What do you mean families are being ripped apart? What kind of families? Are these American families? How are these families being ripped apart? Why are these families being ripped apart? And are they being ripped apart in the context that you guys are telling me that they're being ripped apart? Nobody on the left questions that. They just think that Trump and ICE and all of them are going in saying, you know what? Our goal is to rip families apart. Rip. Got to hear the sound. Rip. Ripping family for no reason. For no reason. Just to see the kids cry as we take their mommy and poppies away. See, these people don't question that. And they get out there and they vomit up this stuff. And you can tell that woman was concerned. Once again, victim of the folks spreading TDS, which is the media and the Democrats.
Wonder what it is people were doing when Nazis were coming and taking families away from each other. And we're living in that moment right now. And I don't want to live in the future where people ask me, what did you do in this moment? It is.
See? You don't think that's a dangerous form of TDS that man is suffering from? This man straight up believes that we are living in the same time as when the Nazis would go in the houses and rip families apart. And I don't want to live in that. And then he says, and when history, it writes itself, I don't want to be the person to say, what did you do? That means that you got crazy folks that would be willing to do anything. See, this is where the TDS manifests itself in action, which can be dangerous because that person right there really thinks that we're living during Nazi time. And you know what? I got to do something. Anything should be justified if we were fighting the Nazis. But that human right there is parroting things that we hear coming out of supposed to be responsible people. See, these damaged people right here are all victims of the Democrat Party and the fake news. They're the ones that manufactured TDS in a lab and then distributed it amongst vulnerable, impressionable people. And now we see the manifestation all in society as that man literally said that the Nazis are ripping people apart. Here, this lady, here, check it out.
It's wrong that our children are living in fear. The only violence and terror that we are experiencing is from the government right now.
Only violence and terrorism they're experiencing is from the government right now. TDS, baby. What can you say? TDS. Unreal. So, yeah, violence. And I'm saying, what? No, you people are more violent than ICE. Yeah, you guys force ICE to have to get violent with you. I mean, if y'all wouldn't interfere with ICE's job, it wouldn't even be violence. It'd just be like, look, Jose, we snagged you up here. Let's go. Put you in the whatchamacallit. No, but they got to fight through a whole bunch of dumb liberals before they can even put Jose in the van or drive him into the facility, And I'm not just saying they all name Jose. It could be the Roger, Jim, Mafuyi, because we had illegal immigrants come in from all over the globe. But according to these idiots right here, first of all, it's people of color only. And the other part is they're all should be because there's nobody illegal. people aren't illegal. They should all be able to come in the country, regardless of what in the world intentions they have for us. Dummies, man. Abolish ICE. Look at that. Yeah, ICE, we have a dream. Stop kidnapping our neighbors.
And we are seeing evil in a very cold way with a terrorist group called ICE.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Terrorist group called ICE. They don't even know what they're talking about. I mean, how do you get up there and you label a federal agency as a terrorist group? Because they're deporting folks that should not be in the country. You leave it to these people, America would implode overnight. They would liberalize us into death. They would say, you know what, let's just go ahead and have no borders. We don't even want to put officers down there. People should be able to go and come as they want. I mean, an open global society, thanks to George Soros and all of those folks. Yeah, just come on, anybody, come on, come on. I mean, these are dumb people. But yet at the same time, they're not so stupid to where they would go home, open up their door, and put a big sign on it that anybody who wants to come in here and live or get a better life is welcome. See, none of them are that dumb. See, they're dumb enough to, do that to our country and our border, because they don't, it doesn't initially affect them. But I guarantee you, they won't say it's an open, swinging door in my house. I got a revolving door in my house. Come in, help yourself to snacks, treats, all of that. So here is this woman who's running for some office up there in Chicago.
Mass secret police coming into our community and disappearing our neighbors. But for everywhere. To stop every raid. To stop every detention.
You hear that? Everywhere. Every raid. Every detention. And this woman calls herself a priestess of some sort. Those are the worst. They put the collar on and get up there and act like I'm fighting this and that. And you know what really validates what I'm saying is, look, I got a collar on. If you know what that collar meant and you was reading your Bible, you realize you got to obey the laws of the land. Everything should be done in decency and order. Okay? It should be a full-blown free style. But according to her, every this is unbelievable. She don't even know what she's talking about. She don't even know what that looks like. That means every single person in Mexico or South America could just start running up into our country. Full blown.
To stop every deportation and to stop the separation of our families.
I'm a Christian, and it is part of my Christian faith to stand up for neighbors.
I mean, that's what you're leading with. You're a Christian. I'm a Christian. Does Christianity make you stupid? It's unreal. I mean, they act like, oh, so just because you're a Christian, that means we're supposed to allow chaos. That's what that means. I'm going to lead in on my Christianity. So therefore, anybody who claims they're a Christian, but yet want a solid closed border and deportation, I guess we're not. And I'm saying, I think that's decency and order. I think it's being kind. I could see if we were taking these people, enslaving them, experimenting on them, because see, y'all claim it's nasty type behavior. Making them work into free labor, because they're pretty much doing that when they get here anyway, because, all of the companies who use them for the cheap labor. But these folks don't care about that. They don't care about that. They don't think about that. See, so, yeah, I can see if that was happening to these people, but we're offering to take them back where they came from. That's it. And many of those folks can go ahead and get money to go, unless you're a criminal. See, unless you're a criminal. But according to the Asian lady with the collar, nobody should be deported. Oh, what the heck? How'd I get way back there? Let me get back here to this crazy person. All right, where's the crazy? See, this is the bad part about this laptop right here.
The only violence and terror that we are experiencing
my other one was on it
right now.
Dang on it. Burns me up. Now I got to go backwards. This is the way I said backwards. Yeah. Now I got to rewatch the craziness. I get a double dose of the craziness. But yeah, I'll never get tired of it. Look at all those masks on.
And we are seeing evil in a very cold way with a terrorist group called ICE.
Mass secret police coming into our community and disappearing our neighbors.
Yeah.
But for everywhere.
Everywhere.
to stop every raid, to stop every detention, to stop every deportation, and to stop the separation of our families.
I'm a Christian, and it is part of my Christian faith to stand up for neighbors.
Y'all hear that?
Don't negotiate with terrorists. We should not negotiate with a fascist administration.
See? You see that? You hear that nonsense? We should not negotiate with a fascist terrorist organization. What do you mean by that, lady? See, when you get people to this point and you're brainwashing people, so if you're not willing to negotiate, that means you want what? Fisticuffs? Huh? What does that mean? Violence? And when you label us as fascists, what you're doing is saying that we are equal to the Nazis. That is strategically done by the Democrats and by folks in the media to label Republicans, conservatives, Trump, and all of them as fascists. Yeah, that was done so that people would make that connection, because you can't get much worse than the Nazis. So when you start talking about fascists, it takes a stupid person's mind right to that, straight to the top. Okay, so they don't talk about communists, they don't talk about, Marxists, they don't talk about socialists. These are all horrible regimes. But no, those aren't horrible enough because they don't have the history, the impact, the punch, like fascists. So we're just going to start throwing that recklessly out there and get these people to a point where they're like, we don't even need to negotiate with these fascists. That's why it's hard for us to live with these people. They got TDS so bad. I'm saying, how can I live? How can I live with you? If this lady lived next door to me and she knew my beliefs, my position, I would be a fascist to her. That's what we're working with right here. Look, you don't think that's great? That's the face of TDS right there. First of all, you need to go brush all of those teeth. All of the bad boys are full-blown yellow. Secondly, you look like a chipmunk or a hamster right now with nuts in her mouth. Man, talking about some, and you know it's coming from the gut from her. She really means it. Face all twisted up with evil and TDS. See what we're working with? That's some TDS. Somebody needs to come out with the white coats and then the back in the day where they pick you up in the big van. Put you in the back, strap you down, put you in a straitjacket, and take you away. And she's up here, fascist! Yeah.
No human being is illegal?
Oh, no human being is illegal? Oh, boy. Boy, I tell you, look at that. What is that in your hair? What is this up top? A little teeny hat? I don't know what that is. Good grief. But this is what we're working with. No human being is illegal. Until they come in your crib. Yeah, let's send a couple folks from MS-13 in your crib, SA, and start saying, we're going to go ahead and rob you and do some stuff to you. You'll be going, hey, you're coming to my house illegally. Oh, no, man. We heard you say no human being was illegal. Yeah, we coming in here for a better life on your behalf. That's what would happen.
Standing up for our immigrant neighbors.
We're here to say that the American people are opposed to these kinds of policies.
Look here, Father Fry. You don't speak for me, Friar Duck. Okay, you don't speak for me, man. Talking about we're here to say that the American people don't stand for them. I'm going, are you kidding me? I'm talking about more deportation, undelay on the deportation aid, okay? Now, I'm here to say...
Speak for yourself.
Thank you. Take your mask off. Take your mask off?
Take your mask off.
What the?
Take your mask off.
Look at that. No self-awareness. She's sitting there talking about take your mask off while people all around her got masks on. Now, you see? That right there is insanity. Not even able to recognize the situation. Not even able to say, you know what, it's going to look really bad if we're telling them to take their mask off. And it's a whole heap of us out here with masks on, including myself. I just took it off my face for a minute because I probably can't yell like I want to. See, crazy. These are all signs of TDS. I'm going, yeah. Everyone in that audience is suffering.
I think my concerns are based around what the federal immigration agents are doing. We're not taking criminals out of the street. We're taking regular, upstanding people out of the streets that are providing to this community in the same way that other people are.
Y'all hear that? It's just that simple. Yeah. I'm not gonna let your cuteness get away with this. Okay, your cuteness won't let you get away with this stupidity. So now let's go ahead and check this lady's statement. Okay, because all of them are just regular, everyday, hardworking citizens.
Hey, you want to see something really scary?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
ICE officials in Miramar today announcing the agency has arrested and deported more than 200 people convicted of sex crimes as well as convicted murderers.
What? But wait a minute, we just heard the priestess say none of them should be deported. We just heard the girl right there say these people are everyday citizens. They're just doing their part. They're peaceful. They're gentle, willing creatures. They go to mass every day and all of that stuff. We just heard these people defend that. And the crazy part about this TDS that they're suffering from is they don't even check. See, remember, ICE is the enemy. ICE is nothing more than Gestapo. So instead of showing up and saying, hey, y'all are about to raid this place to pick up whom, even though it ain't none of their business, okay? But they don't even care about that. They're probably blocking ICE, dragging some of these folks that they just labeled right there, murderers and traffickers and stuff like that. They don't even care. Yeah, they're like, you leave them alone. They didn't do nothing. If they would defend Killer Garcia, you know they'll defend anybody. Unreal. Somebody says sheep, absolutely. A whole bunch of them. Meh.
CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor has more details on what officials are calling Operation Dirtbag.
These are some of the worst child molesters, rapists, murderers, convicted criminals.
Well, but they're everyday neighbors. They're our neighbors and friends and brothers and sisters and stuff like that. Now, I'm more inclined to believe the man with the big cowboy hat.
That have been in and out of your community for a long time.
Yeah.
Trump has declared war on our immigrant neighbors.
Operation Dirtbag to go after people who have attacked children in our communities. In just 10 days, we've been able to remove, in partnership with the state of Florida, over 230 of the worst heinous criminals from their streets.
From Florida, though, because Florida don't have crazy leadership. Florida is like, we will work with ICE. I wonder how many of these type of people are out there in Portland, Oregon, Seattle, up there in Chicago running around, New York where they're protecting these people. I wonder how many of these folks feel like, don't worry, man, we're protected by the Democrats. They're going to do everything to keep us here, even though they have no idea we killed like 15 people. They don't care. They don't check these people. Yeah. So I wonder how many folks are getting away in these liberal cities because they're making it hard for ICE. They're not turning them over to ICE. But thank God for Florida.
It was the latest collaboration between the Trump administration and Governor Ron DeSantis. It was possible because of 287G, the state program that enables local law enforcement officers to assist ICE agents in the arrest of undocumented immigrants. The director of ICE, Madison Sheehan, said 54 were classified as sexual predators, 164 were offenders of sexual crimes, 2 were convicted of murderers.
Wow. Now, if these people were in Chicago, they would just be free. They would be uncontested until they get caught killing or caught, doing something like what's listed there that I can't repeat. Yeah, they would go free. If it was up to Chicago, New York, LA, anywhere in California, Seattle, Portland, all of those places, these people would never be pursued at all. Wouldn't be pursued until they go ahead and do something that reaches national attention. And then all of a sudden, that's just an isolated incident. You can't label all of them as this and that. Missing the point that person wouldn't have been in the country if it wasn't for you guys harboring criminals. That's the bad part about these raggedy behind liberal cities that call themselves sanctuary cities. Unbelievable. Thank you, Florida. Thank you.
My concerns are based around what the federal immigration agents are doing. We're not taking criminals out of the street. We're taking regular, upstanding people out of the streets that are providing to this community in the same way that other people are.
Yeah.
All had final deportation orders.
The governor is instead focusing on using just a few people as scapegoats to criminalize an entire population.
Now, you hear that stupid stuff along with the girl right before her? You know what's sad about that? And I wouldn't wish this on anybody. But can you imagine how Laken Riley felt Do you think she felt that way? See, these are cute little girls right there. I wonder if one of these dudes, like the dude who told his roommate, I'm going out to look for some girls. Yeah, this is a normal thing. I'm bringing the mentality to America that I had in my country. We got away with stuff like that. I don't see why I can't get away with it in America. Go out and look for some girls. Any one of these younger girls could have been a victim of that. You think that would have been going through your mind? Talking about some, well, I don't want to label all of them, or, you know. Yeah. You think you'd be going, you know what, we don't want the stereotype. I mean, in my mind, I'm saying, you know what? This might be one person out of God knows how many that might do something like this. But guess what? I'm the victim of that one person. Yeah, I happen to run into the one person. And the problem with that is that one person out of how many others is the one who shouldn't have been in the country, along with the rest. But it's cause and effect. So who's willing to take one for the team? That's the question. I thought you don't want to label everybody like that. Well, what about the ones that are the victims of it? I mean, there are certain things that only happen every blue moon, but when it happened to a certain person, that person goes, why me? Why me? Out of all the people, I happen to be the victim. To me, you can't come to me talking about something. Well, don't worry about it. You know, I know you're about to be taken out and all that stuff. But they look, I mean, on an average, most of them, you don't want to hear that crap. If you were a family member of somebody who was killed by an illegal immigrant that shouldn't have been in the country, and then you hear somebody talking about something, hey, you don't want to take a small handful of people. Well, my daughter, my friend, my cousin, whoever, was the victim of that small little handful. So it looks like a big problem to me. See, but they don't think like that. Yeah, see, dummies. But let's continue, though, because they're all suffering from that TDS, dog.
I should say it again.
The governor is instead focusing on using just a few people as scapegoats. Just a few people as scapegoats.
Wow. See?
Hey.
That's how I feel sometimes.
I hate people.
I hate people.
Me too.
Me too. Oh boy. Yeah. But yeah, I don't hate people. It's just that was in the clip. It's funny. But I will say this. I hate people's mentality. And I hate people's behavior sometimes. Because, you know, when it impacts the whole country. When I see these people doing stupid stuff like on my live stream the other day when I showed y'all those people in that circle, sitting right in the middle of the street, crisscross applesauce, blocking ice. And I go, these people make me sick. Like when I see them, I just feel like throwing up. Like you guys are the dumbest people, the most useful idiots. These are the type of things when you see it and you see their constant agitation, their constant behavior, their constant whining, their constant protesting. It really makes you want to say, you know what, let's separate the sane from the insane and see what happens. Let's go ahead and just say, you know what, all the Looney Tunes, move to California. It's all you guys. Let's do a divorce. Y'all claim y'all got the biggest economy. You got Gavin and Newsom say things are great out there. Y'all got all that space to accept all of these illegal immigrants, I'm sure. Y'all can take in all of the liberal, crazy, insane folks to suffer from TDS right there in California. Okay, now don't you bring y'all butts across our border. Okay, not into sane land. No, y'all stay into insane land. Okay, we're sane land, insane land. Okay, no violating our border. We don't want y'all skipping back over here when you realize you're living in Looney Town. That's what makes me feel like that. You know, somebody said you've been unsubscribed. Man, that's crazy. Anyway, boy, I tell you, please resubscribe. Thank you, by the way. So let's get into it, y'all, because Marjorie Greene done broke my heart, y'all. Oh.
How many of us have them?
Friends.
And with that, I give you Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes. Good morning.
What's this? Oh, he's on the list. So wait, she's doing a press conference, and in the background, folks got signs dogging Trump, saying he's on the list. Wait a minute. Oh, Marge.
This is my 5th year in Congress, and this is the largest press conference that I've seen since I've been here.
No. Why would you get up? You didn't stop for a second to turn around and say, wait a minute. Some crazy folks done slid in to my little press conference that are accusing Trump of being on the list.
As a conservative and as a business owner in the construction industry and as a realist, I can say we have to do something about labor, and that needs to be a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person.
Wait a minute. That doesn't sound like MAGA. That doesn't sound like Make America Great Again. That's not what was negotiated. That's not what Trump ran on. Yeah. So what are you talking about? Could it be the fact that you realize, wait a minute, as a construction company, we employ a lot of illegal immigrants. Now, when I worked at the drywall barn and I was delivering all of that drywall, I saw a lot of, suspect folks. Most of the houses that we delivered to wasn't brothers and sisters working there, wasn't Caucasians, unless they were the guys walking around with the clipboards. There were a lot of folks that I go, I don't think these people are from America. I'll never forget when I lived in Cincinnati, I was working at a daycare, and there was a hotel being built right in front of the daycare. And the American, builders, they were doing the roof and somehow got up there and messed that roof up. And the foreman fired them all, brought in the Mexicanos, and they threw that sucker up in like 2 or 3 days. They were climbing up on that bad boy with no safety equipment. They weren't taking no breaks. And I was like, and they probably was making about a quarter of what those Americans were making. See, so I know how the system work in that industry. And that might be a reason why you now are kind of going, we need to go ahead and be a little more cautious on the people that we get rid of in the country, do it a little more better.
And deporting them just like that.
Right.
So, and I'm going to get pushed back on that, but I'm just living in reality from here on out.
Yeah.
Where's my Marjorie Taylor Greene going, y'all? Where'd they take her to, y'all? Where did my baby go? I'm wondering where she went off to. Where'd you go, March? I miss my baby so. Man, where's the Marge I knew and loved?
And if anybody's mad at me for saying the truth, then I'm sorry.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, ladies and gentlemen, our next president. Sorry, JD Vance.
See?
Well, I mean, people are saying it. I go to dinner parties.
Yeah, I heard you.
Well, by the way,
I heard you on Joe Rogan.
Tell you what, 6 months in, Steve, and here we are, turning back on the campaign promises.
How?
And we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel.
But see, a lot of us are being divided by this whole Israel thing. And I'm saying, okay, I think some people are suffering from Israel derangement syndrome as well. Now, me as a Christian, I got to ride and die with Israel. But if Israel does something that I think is not warranted or evil, I mean, I would definitely say, now they shouldn't have done that. I wouldn't say, well, let's overlook whatever they do just because they're Israel. However, the bombing of Iran, I think that could have came back to haunt all of us, not just Israel. I could see a good legitimate reason why we might have an invested interest on doing that as well, especially if we knew we can do it and get out of there. But see, I saw a lot of folks go hard on the right against Trump over that. And then when it didn't turn out like they predicted, they were predicting doom and gloom like she is. And when it didn't turn out like that, my question is, are you going to come back and apologize? Listen to this.
We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people...
Sound like a Democrat to me. That's what it sounds like. That sounds like the rhetoric of the Democrats. I mean, as if she don't know that Trump does not want an ongoing war. That is why when Trump does something to another country like this, they don't really retaliate because they know that Trump don't want an ongoing war. Why would you retaliate and open yourself up to a beating? Okay, take your blow and walk away. Yeah, take your blow like, your parent give you one and you just go, man, don't be hitting me. Like, You already know what's going to come after that. It's going to be all over you. All over you. You got to take that one, go up to your room, and get mad and cry in the pillow. She get me sick. But if you got the nerve to talk about, oh, I'm about to go to war, you invoke the wrath. So it's very obvious to these people that Trump, when he has to do something like that, he's like, look, we talked about this. I warned you. Did it. Now I'm gone. We ain't got to talk about this no more, okay? Unless you want to. Unless you want to. And now that it didn't turn out like she just predicted, did she come back out and say, well, I was up there talking about our children were going off to war and all, and we was about to have World War III and nuclear war. My bad. Maybe I went a little overboard. Maybe I didn't wait to see the results before I went out there and made a video like this. And see, that's what put a lot of conservatives in a box, because they came out with the over-the-top doom and gloom. When I saw it, I said, okay, I hope this don't escalate. But if it does, it ain't going to escalate on our part. It ain't going to be because we're sitting back like, yeah, y'all want some more, let's do some more. It would be because Iran reacts to a certain degree to where an American is killed or they attack an American base or something, and then it would be a problem. But people like this went over the top.
People that are cheering it on right now, their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers.
It sounds like you're trying to brainwash some people right now, Marge Greene. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. Oh, man. Where did she go, y'all? Where'd my Marge go? She's still breaking my heart, y'all. Don't go breaking my heart.
And that is exactly how this is going to go down.
Exactly. Exactly how this is going to go down. Now, do you see? I'm laying the groundwork for the fallout. Okay. I hate to see folks on our side jump to the worst conclusions oftentimes. As if I try to respond to some of the stuff based on like observation of Trump down throughout the years. You know, if you really kind of pay close attention to him, you get a feel for his personality, what he might do, what his real intentions are, how he's in, you know, you kind of get a feel for it. So for you to go out there and say, this is exactly how it's going to end. We're going straight to war. It's going to be nuclear. Your sons and daughters are going to be killed. He did it just for Israel. And I'm going, okay. I know you want to beat up on Israel for some reason. I don't know why conservatives all of a sudden just acting like, you know, Israel's not an ally or Israel. I mean, I love Israel. Okay. Bottom line. I'm unapologetic about my, you know, love for Israel. However, I can legitimately see why we would not want a country like Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Whether it would directly affect Israel off grip, which it would, as if though them having that wouldn't put the whole world in a position to where you put a nuclear weapon in the hands of a rogue nation who also believes in suicide bombing and are religiously motivated. That's a concern for me. They might just use those nuclear weapons to spread whatever they want to spread. And if you don't like it, we all die. We all die. See, I need folks that don't want to die. If you got nuclear weapons and you're not religiously motivated, okay, like Russia, they might have religious people in Russia, but they're not saying our whole political view, our worldview revolves around our religion. They're sitting back going, we got them so that y'all don't use them, and you got them so that we don't use them. So we both got to come together and talk about this. But when you get a rogue nation, you can't talk. You sitting there like, man, granted, we might have more than them. We might blow them off the map. But what if one of theirs slide through? See, these are things that I think of, and I say this is preventative, especially considering we were able to do it without killing nobody. But yet, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, instead of waiting to see the outcome, and she's not the only one, went hard in. He's backtracking. You can't be so American first that you are overlooking some other things that could end up hurting America. See, so preventative. That's how I looked at that. I was like, this is preventative. But let's see what Scott got to say.
A war with words, sorry, Scott, a war with words with Donald Trump is such a risky business that I cannot believe she has
the bravery to engage in it, because even if she was right, she's still going to lose.
Is there an example of anyone beating Donald Trump at this game?
Never. This is his game, and he's great at it. And she's barking up a tree that she's going to fall on her really hard.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
That's interesting. He has some people who profess to be strong supporters who do oppose him more often than the people that you might not think are his strongest supporters. She's one of them. Thomas Massey in Kentucky is another one. Rand Paul, my home state senator, he takes.
But see, those two, we already assume that they're going to be the ones. It's people, those are the ones that we expect. Marjorie Taylor Greene came in over the top MAGA. I mean, she was hated. That's when you know you're really MAGA. When the left hates you. When they sitting back like, oh, I can't stand her. She's a Nazi. She's a white supremacist. Yeah, when they hate you, I'm going, we're good. We're good. They hate her. Yeah, she's okay. And now it seems like, though, she's trying to win the love or the favor of them. And I'm saying, okay, wait a minute. Are you really trying to come to the middle and be reasonable and stuff? Or are you overcompensating for how radical they viewed you in an effort to win the love and the favor of them? For what reason? Because you're not going to win that. You do realize that. They will use you. Yeah, whenever they see a crack in the armor, whenever they see a Republican is willing to go ahead and say something that they can use to bludgeon Trump, oh, we'll forget all about the hurtful things we said about you in the past because we were trashing Marjorie Taylor Greene. Boy, and now all of a sudden, she's a little darling of the media. She's brave.
On Trump, although they profess to be Trump supporters. In this case, I think he had the order out of order. I trace all this back to his decision, the righteous decision to strike Iran.
Yeah.
She was against it. So were some of the people who occupy that wing of the party. He defied them. And since that time, they all seem to be stridently picking at him on this issue or that. And then, of course, everybody knows in Washington, Miles, you know, the fastest way to get in front of a television camera if you're a Republican is to come out and crap on Donald Trump. And so that is what she is doing.
But you know, Scott.
Yep. Whenever you see CNN pop up on your caller ID and you're supposed to be a hardcore MAGA person, yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. You're sitting back going, wait a minute, why is CNN calling me? If CNN calls me, it's for a setup. There it is. Instead of either it's for a setup or a sellout, one of the two. If MSNBC calling you, either you're a sellout or they're setting you up. So it's a setup or a sellout. One of the two. Hey, I know CNN, they're going to be bringing me on talking about, you're so brave, Kevin, talking about how much these illegal immigrants need to be, removed from our country. And, the way you get out there and you talk about America first is really, it's inspiring. No, they're going to get on there like, you know what? How do you feel betraying your people? As a black person, you ever feel like, I already know I'm getting set up. I'm coming in already. Yeah, with my dukes up. Like, okay. All right, I assume we coming in to scrap. I'm not on your squad. Okay, I've watched enough of your network to know that you're not going to bring me on for a civil conversation. Probably is going to blindside me with something else that has nothing to do with the reason why you told me, yeah, we want you to come on CNN and have a conversation about that and get you on there. In 1999, you were said that, see, I already know how it works. And so when I saw Marjorie Taylor start getting, all of these offers on these networks, like Scott just said, I started getting concerned.
That is what she is doing because
I trace it back further than that, Scott.
Over these issues, and that's what happened.
I will praise Nancy Pelosi. She had an incredible career for her party. I served under her speakership in my first term of Congress, and I'm very impressed at her ability to get...
Marge, where'd you go? You've been gone 17 days, 17 long nights. The main drag is knowing that you're holding CNN tonight. You got to get me up there talking about some Nancy Pelosi. You admired her work? All of that evil?
Get things done. I wish we could get things done for our party like Nancy Pelosi was able to deliver for her party. So I wish her well in her retirement, but I would like to see people exit Washington a lot sooner rather than wait until their 80s.
So Trump is reportedly calling his MAGA cronies because they say that you're slamming...
We done lost her when she's on The View. Oh, no. She's on The View and they actually being civil. Unreal. I mean, you got to be kidding me. The old Marge would be on there getting jumped fighting for her life and knocking them out. That's the bad part about it. She be on there beating all of them up. Okay? But now, listen to this.
Republicans too much. Well, you're taking my job.
Yes. You hear that? I mean, when you getting complimented by Big Nose Toucan saying the dumbest one on the show.
Because they say that you're slamming Republicans too much. Well, you're taking my job.
Yeah. Where you going, Marge? Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down on the end of Lonely Street, Heartbreak Hotel, and now I'm lonely, Marge. I said I'm lonely, Marge. That's right. Unbelievable. Where did you go, Marge? Come back. Unreal. Let's continue, though. Watching her break my heart.
You're slamming Republicans a lot.
Damn.
Compared to just 30% of Americans who blame Democrats. Of course, Republicans are the ones with the power. Do you agree with Americans in that poll that see the shutdown as your party's fault?
You know what? I don't think the shutdown is popular for either side. And so I see the shutdown completely different from maybe my party leadership. And I'm not putting the blame on the president. I'm actually putting the blame on the speaker and Leader Thune in the Senate.
Boy. Yeah, I heard she's recently divorced. Maybe that's messing up her mind. Yeah. But you see, she's drinking out of a CNN cup. No. The fact you're drinking out of a CNN cup. You're killing me, Marge. Please don't go away from me. We can work it out, whatever it may be, girl. Please don't go. Where she go, y'all? I hope she come back. The door's still open for you, Marge, right now. But if you keep on now, you're gonna close that door. It's gonna be too tight to get back in. Let's continue watching her blame Republicans for this nonsense.
This should not be happening. And I don't think, look, as a member of Congress, we already have a low enough job approval rating. This shutdown is just going to drive everybody's approval rating that much lower.
But, so you're putting the blame on the leadership of your party?
Absolutely. We control the House. We control the Senate. We have the White House.
I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger.
Yep. Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
You know, I have to.
Yeah, right now. Come to the dark side, and together we can rule. Unreal. Boy, I mean, see, you're giving these people sound bites. Listen to this. You already know you're in trouble when folks like this use you as an example.
Before we even talk about that, I have to say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was on the show yesterday, her timing couldn't have been better. I mean, she's basically turning on the Republicans in several areas. Of course, continuing to say she loves Trump, because why wouldn't you? Because the retribution against her would be horrible.
Oh, Marge. And what I want to know, baby, if what we had was good, then how could you don't call me anymore? Where you at, Marge? Man, I'm telling you, I would just call me. Just call me. There's only one lousy dime. That's all I'm saying. But let's continue, though, because they love her. And if they love her, that's a problem.
So she stays there.
I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
What's this? Oh, Donald Trump. She done invoke the wrath of Donald Trump. Now, you already know how he gets down if he feel like he's been betrayed. Yeah, he's going to come in and give you a couple body blows, and watch what she does, which really burns me up. She's going to employ a Marxist conflict / Democrat tactic that burns me up.
So they're using Jeffrey Epstein as a deflection from the tremendous success that we're having as a party.
Mr. President, you said they want to talk. You said Venezuela wants to talk. What does that mean?
Venezuela would like to talk. What does it mean? You tell me. I don't know.
You want to talk to them?
I talk to anybody. I talk to you.
Talk to you.
Right? I talk to anybody. We'll see what happens.
Her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
There it is.
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she said
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
The latest post that's...
Oh, man. Now that gotta hurt. She was one of the most beloved people amongst the MAGA movement. Beloved. If you see, and this is what, I see a lot of conservatives online. Sometimes I don't even, when I see the title, I don't even click on it. Some of them are even people that I've watched or supported in the past, and for whatever reason, they've gone off on whatever. I stay so far away from that mess because at the end of the day, you don't want to see a division amongst the crew. Y'all work these things out internally. There was one guy who I was friends with. And for some reason, he just went off the deep end and started going after all the conservatives. Now, he never went after me. That's the funny part about it. Never went after me. And I listen to him sometimes, and I'm like, what the heck got hold to him? He is so far out that I'm saying, wow. And I was cool with him. Now, even with that being said, I've never used one of his videos to go after him. I've never openly spoken that. I might have called up a couple people and said, what is going on with so-and-so? Why are they, what happened? But publicly, I don't do it. And I try not to get involved in a temporary, something that we probably will all get over very soon, but could divide us if we're not careful. Like, for example, the bombing of Iran. You get a lot of people to go over the top with that, cause such a division and fracture, and then at the end of the day, nothing. You did that for nothing. You weren't patient enough to wait to see the results of that. Yeah, you went out there, you get a lot of folks to get stirred up and think, oh, here we go again. We're interventionists and we're doing this and this and that in Israel. Look what's going to happen. We're going to be, he's breaking his promises. And I'm going, could you just wait a little bit? Because if this turns out great, like it did, then what are you going to do? Now you done went out there, spit the venom out there, divided a whole bunch of people. You look stupid. You don't have enough humility to come back and say, that didn't turn out the way I said it was going to turn out. Yeah, I thought it was going to be all bad. But, and so, oftentimes you're stuck out on a limb. And instead of coming back, you try to find other reasons to justify why you're out there now. Yeah, it can't be, I made a bad judgment, or I was hasty, or I didn't keep the discussion in-house. Yeah, I didn't give it time. I went straight out there, jumped the shark, and was like, you know what this is all, you know what this is all. And then when nothing happened, now you look stupid. Like all of these people are about to look when these Jeffrey Epstein files get released. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks that Trump is mad at her because of the Jeffrey Epstein files. So let's go ahead and see what she had to say.
Gone out from the representative's page, really, in just the last 2 hours or so. She says, quote, I am now being contacted by private security firms with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats were made against me and are being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world.
And that's where you lose me. That's where you lose me, man. Where you start using the Democrat tactics. That's what all of them do to bubble wrap themselves from criticism. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I wouldn't be so critical of her if I didn't see such a drastic contrast. She was one of the people who said it like she meant it. I mean, it would sit back and worry about, if I say mean things about this person, they're going to be worried about their life. And she would cut people to the bone. Now to see this, where you're going, I feel my life is in danger by the most powerful man in the world. And I'm going, you sound like a Democrat. You sound like somebody who's fragile. You were like one of the toughest women in the MAGA movement. Now you sound real fragile. Now you're sitting back going, I'm scared of people coming after me. And I'm going, ain't nobody looking for you. Ain't nobody trying to come after you. If you're worried about that, show me all of the threats. Show me this. See, oftentimes these people will say criticism is a threat. You suck. You disgust me. You're a traitor. Oh, my life's in danger. No, the person just said you suck. You're a traitor. So when they say this stuff, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But especially, though, when you get somebody who was one of the people hurling all of the criticism of other people, and now all of a sudden she sounds straight up like a Democrat who gets caught with their pants down. And when you criticize them, they go, you're putting my life in danger, especially the most powerful man in the world.
The man I supported and helped to get elected, aggressive rhetoric attacking me has historically led to death threats and multiple convictions of men who were radicalized by the same type of rhetoric.
Now, see, now you're going to play the sexist card. Men, that radicalized men, that tries, and I'm going, see, you're going right down the alley of identity politics. You're doing things that's making me go, Marge, you're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart. See, if you would have just said, it breaks my heart that Trump criticized me, you know, we got some differences, period. But when you start employing these type of tactics where I'm saying, you learn that from the enemy. Yeah, see, that's a problem for me. If you would have just stated your opinion about Trump, but you want to go ahead and try to say, leave me be, don't say nothing about what I said, don't criticize me, because now all of a sudden, not only you putting my life in danger, but it's coming mostly from men. Men, yeah, as a woman. And I'm going, you're using those tactics that we all despise. Okay, man or woman up. All right, but yeah, that's what she's doing right here, bubble wrapping herself. So it's not the fact that she disagrees with Trump or Trump criticizes her or she criticizes him. When I start seeing this, I say, these are things that we as conservatives say, don't use those, because those right there are Democrat tactics. Okay, and now you're employing these things as if you were a Democrat. Instead of just saying, I'm willing to stand on my own merit, I'll argue my point or whatever, but instead you revert to, I'm a woman, you're putting my night, and men they're making me scared. Oh, thank you. Dawn is on the wheels of steel. She just put the Cash App link right up in there, y'all. So who's ever listening and earlier was talking about what's your Cash App, all you got to do is click on it to help Kevin get a new laptop. I told y'all the plan. If everybody, was it $2? $2. If at the end of the chat, when it actually accumulates up to about 2,100, oh man, thank you, Don, by the way. If everybody just $2, I'd have a laptop. We'd all be celebrating. But now let's get back to her whining.
Directed at me right now, this time by the President of the United States. As a woman, I take threats from men seriously. Now I have a small understanding of the fear and pressure the women who are victims of Jeffrey Epstein and his cabal must feel as... See the dirty tactic? That's what I don't like, man. I don't like that. The dirty tactic. As a woman, I take these type of men as if it's a whole bunch of men just threatening her. Okay, now she's saying this as if she's never been threatened, ever. Under all of the horrific things that the Democrats said, you don't think some of these crazy Looney Tunes and these folks suffer from TDS? After hearing them call Marjorie Taylor Greene everything under the sun for years. For years, she was public enemy number one as the female. On our squad, as a female in the Republican Party, she was the most hated. And you trying to tell me them calling you a white supremacist, a fascist, or this and this and that, never got you any death threats? All of a sudden, Trump says something about you, and now all of a sudden you're scared, and then you add a little more onto it. These are manipulative tactics. I don't like the manipulation, and you think I don't see it. That's the problem. I'm saying I see what you're doing. Now you want to invoke these women who suffered from Jeffrey, and now you want to say I can relate to them. I understand what they went through. So look at me. I'm bubble wrapping myself over and over again. First, I'm going to do it as a woman, and look, you're a man of power, and you're inciting violence. Men are all against me. And oh, then let me go ahead. I'm going to add this on too. This will really get it. This will really back him up off me. And I also can relate to these women. And I'm going, you're manipulating. You think this is working for you, but it's only working against you. I will respect you if you just disagreed with Trump and said, look, man, I disagree with what he said. I don't like his policies right now, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. We can disagree sometimes. But when you start employing that, and I go, ugh, that's that nasty stuff I hate. I see this done all the time from the Democrats. So what are you up to with this mess? As a Republican who overwhelmingly votes for President Trump's bills and agendas, his aggression against me, which also fuels the venomous nature of his radical internet trolls, so many of whom are paid. See? This is nothing shocking to everyone.
So many of them are paid radical internet trolls. See, none of this stuff was radical internet trolls, paid folks, when you were straight MAGA. Before you started going on this, whatever you're going on, you were never talking about them like that. You weren't talking about that. There's internet trolls is paid out there. And I'm saying, who's paid? What? I wish I was. Are you kidding me? I'm begging to get a laptop. I mean, Trump, if you're listening, I need a laptop. Where's the paycheck? I'm waiting for my first paycheck. Boy, if it wasn't for YouTube, I probably could have my laptop. But, I mean, when I'm looking at 143 people watching my show, when I know I got 198,000 subscribers, I'm going, are you kidding me? But here she is now, all of a sudden, out there, the internet trolls and stuff. And I'm saying, what you doing? You're employing tactics that I see coming out of the enemy.
Everyone, my phone is blowing up with constant, amazing support. I'm so thankful to the political industrial complex. He does go on to talk about the toxic nature of some of this happening behind the scenes. It's a very, very long tweet as well, but she ends it off by saying that the political industrial complex and the toxic, violent nature of American politics must end. Our country is worth saving, and it can only be done if we pull together and save ourselves.
So now she's going on the unity message. Now she's going to take or try to assume the role as a uniter. And see, now I got to question your motive. When you shift from being 100% unapologetic MAGA, and you would deal with folks on the left like you need to deal with them, you don't need to coddle them. See, you don't need to mince words, water it down, try to be nice. You're dealing with evil folks who want to destroy you and us. Folks that will never really accept you, you think they're going to forget about all the stuff you did. We're going to hear that in a second. So back then, I knew exactly where she stood. I'm saying, yeah, tell it like it is, man. Don't be mincing words with these folks, trying to call them, because these folks will stab you in the back. These folks will call you everything under the sun like they did. But now all of a sudden, you're on this mission to be a uniter and this and that. Now, you're going to try to use Charlie Kirk, and after that, I felt that we need to bring people together. And I'm going, that showed just how far we are apart. So let me understand. You see all of these folks start cheering over one of ours getting shot and assassinated. And your thought is, let's try to bring it. No, if anything, it's okay, now I got a clear idea of what we're working with. I know the evil that we are working with. I know these people aren't trying to come together. Yeah. So me coming out now and trying to be the unifier and this and that, folks are going to take advantage of this crap. They're going to use you, like right here, to make Trump look bad or something. But the minute you turn your back,
I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected. And I think that's incredibly important. And I do support him and his administration. And I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people.
Okay. Now you should just stop right there. I mean, I seen Marjorie Taylor on the campaign trail. I went to rallies and she was there, but that was the old march. Yeah, that's the one. I'm like, where did my baby go? But the thing about it though, yeah, you support Trump and the campaign promises. One of those campaign promises was mass deportation. Yeah, back in the day, you were gung-ho for it. Now, all of a sudden, we got to rethink it and all that stuff, and then maybe we shouldn't. And I'm going, wait a minute. These are campaign promises that I'm going, yeah. So now, all of a sudden, she's talking about how much she, has supported Trump, and, she's hurt that he said these hurtful things about her. But yet, when I looked at some of the clips that we saw already, I feel a little kind of hurt too, Marge. I feel a little hurt too. That's why the title of my show is, Marjorie Taylor Greene broke my heart. When I see you just straight jumping the shark. He's breaking campaign promises. We're going to war with nuclear war. We need to pump the brakes on the deportation. I'm going, hey. No, pump the brakes on that.
His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country.
The new mission,
and that is
the rebranding. I'm always concerned when you come out trying to rebrand yourself. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, this ain't the firecracker I knew. Let's see where she's going with this.
Is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it is...
And let me understand this, Marge. You think the Democrats are going to come together and say, absolutely? Yeah, obviously, she's lost her understanding of who we're dealing with. Do you think, and how many years we've been saying this? The same crap that I'm hearing come out of her face. I thought we need to end the toxic for years now. Do you think they're going to change? You don't understand the enemy that we're dealing with. That's the problem. You don't understand it. This is the stuff they feed off of and take advantage of. Weakness like this. They're going, yeah, we want one of you. Get in the middle. Yeah, we want you to be a mediator to not really call us out for Archer, because we ain't doing it. We're not going to be pulling back the rhetoric and all of that stuff. No, we're going to go hard in. I don't care. I don't care if Trump got shot in the ear. We'll give it about 2 days before he is Hitler again, before he's Mussolini, before he's a dictator. Yeah, I don't care if Charlie Kirk got shot. And the more radical folks won't even get 2 days. The more radical folks gonna come out like, but he was also very defensive. But the other Democrats will give it about a week or so. Then we'll straight come right back out with the same crap. Do you not understand that? Do you understand that these folks play for keeps? Like Ricky Bobby said, I play for keeps. I play for keeps. Now, you used to play for keeps, Marge, but if you start softening up like this because maybe you want to be more palatable to, the broader audience, because you might maybe want to run for something that you think that you need a whole bunch of support from everybody else, you're sorely mistaken. You're sorely mistaken.
Divided our country, split up friends and families.
Who did that? Who did that?
Neighbors, and it's not solving our problems.
Yeah, who did that, March? Who did that? Huh? Did we draw first blood? No, they ain't drew first blood. All right? You understand that? You don't get it, do you? You don't get it. They ain't drew first blood. Over in the army, went up to this kid, he comes up with this shoebox, and he said, Shy, I said, yeah, and then the box blows up, and my friends is all over the place. I just can't get that out my head. That's right. Yeah, they drew first blood. Okay? So, what are you talking about? We're not the ones that came out there doing all of that crap. Yo, I'm sorry. I just went off on a whole tangent of my boy. Oh, boy. Rambo. John Rambo. Yeah, man. Loved you. Rambo. That's my name. All right, let's continue.
The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor. And that is so extremely wrong. And those are the...
Yeah, that right there would hurt. But see, you got to understand. For some reason, you just adopted this new effort to be more negative than positive, even when we are doing things that are positive. And it just sends a mixed message and it divides the camp. I can see if Trump wasn't doing things that we as the voters can see, either things that he's done and we're happy with, or things he's working on doing that we know will eventually be good. You're attacking some of those fundamentals and you're belittling and undermining his efforts, his motives, his intentions. That, if I'm him, I feel like that's treacherous as well. See, so I can feel it. I get it. And granted, she might not even interpret what she's doing as being a full-blown traitor. But I mean, you look at how the Democrats look at John Fetterman. That guy votes mostly with Democrats, but he's not evil enough for them. So they look at him as a traitor. And I'm not saying Marjorie Taylor Greene is irredeemable. She's, whatever. Whatever is motivating her will get, it'll come out in the end. But right now, all of the stuff that I saw as I was, playing the clips, I'm going, this ain't the Marge I know and love. What are you up to? What's changing your behavior and your approach towards how we deal with the left, how we deal with these Democrats, and so I got to be concerned about that. And if you're not very clear on that, or you're doing strange things, it makes people start questioning, are you betraying the movement?
Types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
See, that's the thing. Look.
Shouldn't have been talking shit.
Yeah, see, when you end with that, if you would have left that out, see, okay, maybe, all right, look, all right, I'm hearing you, okay, you feel bad about it, you feel betrayed. I mean, that hurt you because he said you were a traitor. But when you end it with, and when you criticize me and say things like that about me, basically you're putting my life in danger. So stop saying bad things about me. Don't criticize me. And I'm going, that's not the way. Now you're looking weak. Now you're assuming the position of a weak woman that says, you know what? Just because I'm a woman in power, a woman who knows how things go in politics, a woman who's been on the other end of hurling all the criticism, but now all of a sudden you're gentle. Now I'm going, so we should interpret you as weak. We got to bubble wrap you. You can't take criticism. So you can withstand all of the hate coming from the left. All of that hate. But Trump comes out and criticizes you, and you're scared as a woman, and I'm scared. I'm going, see, you're manipulating. And I don't like that. I know when somebody trying to manipulate me.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking.
So it had nothing to do with you criticizing his decision to strike Iran and never apologize for your rant. You just told us we're going into nuclear war. Watch, guaranteed. Watch when your sons and daughters are coming back in body bag. Never came back and said, I called that one wrong. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, you're going on a tour on all these liberal networks criticizing Trump and the Republican Party. Keep it in-house, March. The only reason they're bringing you on these shows is because you're willing to do that. So here you are going to sum it up. Oh, it's not Epstein. Why? Why would it just be Epstein?
And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations. And I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files. And I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong.
Now, all of that, fine. I agree. I hate the way they handled the Epstein files initially. And what it did is it opened up a door for this. The first people who criticized it was us. And you know who is always lurking, just like the devil, to see a house divided is the Democrats. The problem with it is now they have co-opted it and they're now trying to use it to bludgeon Trump, to make Trump look bad or to try to imply that Trump is involved with this or trying to cover it up or whatever. For whatever reason, they didn't release it all initially. You know, I think that'll come out because word on the street is if you want it, you got it. Word on the street, because now she's about to imply that she don't know why Trump won't just release everything. How about you giving some time, let it marinate, let the Democrats try to use this, let them build all their fake narratives and stuff like that, thinking, oh, we got him this time, and they said, now dump it. Because that's what he did. I think last night or something, he went on Truth Social and said, I want all the Republicans to vote yes, release it. Release the Kraken. Now let's see. The Democrats always say, we want this right now. And then when you give it to them, they go, oh, shoot. Yeah, we didn't think he was going to do it. We thought we could just have you on the run. We thought we could just keep saying, why won't he release it? And, you know, and Trump is like, okay, on Truth Social, release all of this, put it to bed. Okay, so here she is now claiming that, you know, maybe it's because she feels about, now we all feel this way about these women. But then here she comes with this.
And so I'm standing with the women, and I will continue to do my small part to get the files.
Not so hard to do. President Trump has declared he is officially pulling his endorsement of MAGA firebrand Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You don't want that, March. You don't want that. Boy, I tell you. So, yeah, March. And like I said, I'm concerned because I'm seeing you being brought onto all of these fake networks, and I'm going, why are they doing that? Why are they inviting you on? Why are they praising you? What are you doing to make them think now they got an ally? See?
The Georgia congresswoman has been demanding the release of the Epstein files and has criticized the president for spending too much time abroad. The president,
see, it's stuff like that.
Well, has apparently heard enough.
Now, see, here we are. I'm looking at Trump go abroad, and I know what he's doing. I know why he's abroad. See, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. It's almost as if you don't know Trump. You don't understand why he's going over there. You don't see what he's doing. You don't see the coalitions that he's building. You don't see the deals that he's negotiating. It all still revolves and comes back to us. But for some reason, you're criticizing him for doing this. I mean, these are things that folks are looking at and going, this is great. When I see him over there signing peace treaties, signing business deals, signing all this stuff, I'm going, this is great. And then you hear her, and I'm going, where'd that come from? What are you talking about? Are you so America first and America only that you don't see how working with other countries also leads back to us? Okay, do you want to be completely isolationist? Do you want to say, you know what? We're not going to trade with anybody in the world. Anybody. We're not going to have no relationships, no allies, nothing. It's just going to be us. If you're going to have allies, make sure you utilize those allies to benefit the country. But yet she's criticizing that, and I'm going, for what? That's an unnecessary criticism.
Posting on Truth Social overnight that all wacky Marjorie Taylor Greene does is complain, complain, complain.
And nobody wants that. Nobody wants a complainer, okay? I mean, after a while, you're going, oh, God, what is it now?
I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy. Already, I have people calling me. They want to challenge her to a race in her district in Georgia. And, you know, that's too bad. She's lost a wonderful conservative reputation. But when she says, don't go overseas, if I didn't go...
Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a big ally of yours, said that she would rather see you focused on nonstop domestic policy meetings here at the White House instead of nonstop foreign policy meetings. What's your response to her saying that, and also saying that grocery prices are up and not down, as you've said?
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to Marjorie. She's a nice woman, but I don't know what happened. She's lost her way, I think. But I have to view the presidency as a worldwide situation, not locally. I mean, we could have a world that's on fire where wars come to our shores very easily if you had a bad president. But with all of that, I passed a great, big, beautiful bill, which is the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country. So,
but you ain't got nothing to say about that? See, these are things that I say, what are you doing, Marge? You're breaking my heart. Don't go breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart with this. So you aren't able to see the bigger, broader picture of what you think he's just going overseas to kick it? Apology tour like Obama did? Why do you think he's doing that? It ain't like we're watching him over there just having a good time. We see what he's doing. And so for you to say that, I'm saying, what? And then you're acting like he ain't leaving competent people on other things and within our country. I'm saying, man, you don't sound rational when you attack him for something like that.
So when somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's now catering to the other side, I don't know what, I guess she's, got some kind of an accolade, but I'm surprised at her. But when somebody like Marjorie goes over and starts making statements like that, it shows she doesn't know. But so when somebody makes a statement about he's devoting time to the world, well, the world is the United States, because if the world's in trouble or if the world is ripping us off, the world was ripping us off before I came here. Europe was getting massive tariffs. They were sending us 9-10 million cars a year. We were sending them none.
Now, see, why can I understand what he was doing and she can't? And that guy was talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be our president. No. I mean, according to her, she'd be like, you know what? Forget making sure I renegotiate deals with Japan and the India and all this. Forget that. Hey, I'm going... It's a means to an end. You do realize that. I mean, why am I able to understand why he's doing this and you can't? You look at this as he's abandoning America, and I'm going, he's overseas working on behalf of America. Yes, if he could bless your country, great. If he could solve a war in your country, great. But at the end of all of those negotiations, he always ends with, what are you going to do for America? How are you going to go ahead and bless America? What relationships can we have? What trade can we get going on here? What access can we have to your minerals? He's always doing that, along with doing other stuff. And she can't see that. And I'm going, are you like willfully blind? I'm saying, I see it. That's why I didn't criticize it. I praised it.
They were not taking our agriculture. We were taking massive amounts of their. It was so unfair.
Why he got to say
now
this?
Now we have a deal where $950 billion is coming into the United States because of me and because of tariffs.
Live now from Fox, I'm Shana Kalaki.
Here we go.
We have some more breaking news tonight. Earlier, we told you President Trump announced he is withdrawing his support for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, here we go, y'all. He done put out a statement. Oh, Marge, you about to get a spanking.
She has just responded. We want to read you again what President Trump said on Truth Social.
Okay.
He said, I am withdrawing my support and endorsement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, closed borders, low taxes, no men in women's sports or transgender for everyone, ending DEI, stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, the biggest regulation cuts in history, stopping 8 wars, rebuilding our military, being respected by every country in the world as opposed to being the laughingstock that we were just 12 months ago, having trillions of dollars, record-setting, invested in the USA, and having created the hottest country anywhere in the world from being a dead country just 12 months ago, and so much more. He says, all I see wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain.
Oh my! Now all of you fellas out there, all the fellas in the house, if you was married and you like, look, I just finished cutting the grass and I put up that fence you've been asking, and I dropped about $3,000 or $4,000 more in the account. Yeah, I just finished the roof too, painted the bedrooms and stuff like that. And I did. I went grocery shopping, and by the way, here's some flowers too. And at the end of that, she's going, yeah, but you track snow in the house. What? Yeah, you track snow in there. Look, I just mopped the floor and you just walked in there. Look at that. That's your footprints. I don't care about all that other stuff. Look at that. You're going, we ain't going to make it. Women, if you talking about some, yeah, sweetie, you know what? I made a hot dinner for you. That's right. Made your house a home. Made it smell all fresh and good. Because, you know, men, they don't care if the house smell like feet. Yeah. You coming in, smells like dandelions and roses and stuff. That's right. You come in, she's looking good. She ain't sitting back talking about, nah, I'm married, I'm going to let it go. Keep it together and all of that. And here you come talking about some, you know, you burnt the toast. Well, what about all the good stuff I did? You think I'm supposed to overlook that burnt piece of toast? Because you, see, that's what Marge is doing. All of this stuff Trump's listing, I get it. Here you are going, you just out there complaining. You ain't even, it would be different if you was like balancing it out. Like, hey, sweetie, I recognize that you did this and that and this and this and that. And I'm so proud of you. Woo, I tell you what, you make me feel so safe. Love you, baby. But hey, listen, could you be mindful to just take your shoes off if you can remember coming in that door? He would be so focused on all of those praises, all of the things you just recognized as being great. Immediately, he'd be like, yes, what else can I do to make you feel more proud of me? But if you downplay all of that or overlook it and focus on the shoe prints, it's over. It is over. He's like, oh, okay, I see what this is here. How about I do nothing? How about that? Or how about we just go our separate ways? Okay, so let's continue, though, hearing Trump because he all busted up because she don't recognize the good stuff. All she want to complain.
He went on to say, it seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance unless, of course, people that is upset that unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. He said she has told many people that she's upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 congressmen and women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, and almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take ranting lunatics calls every day.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you know Trump, he's always going to go hard in on you. But the crazy part is he always have welcoming arms back to you. I mean, look at Elon. Elon was acting a fool, and he embraced Elon back. Marco Rubio. So many people have acted up and then came back, and Trump will embrace them. But on your way out, though, he's going to give it to you. He ain't going to spare you. He's going to give it to you. And depending on how you respond to that, depending on if you get more of it or if you get the softer side of Trump. He called Little Rocket Man forever until Little Rocket Man softened up. Then he became Kim Jong-un. So when it comes down to this statement right here, my question is a motive buried in this statement? Could it be that Marge Greene got bigger aspirations and Trump is like, don't do it. That ain't good. Well, maybe then, if I change up my personality, if I soften up my image, if I reinvent myself, then I might be more palatable to run outside of Trump's endorsement. Maybe I can rely on the crazies that hate us anyway to vote for me by pretending that I'm not as crazy and radical for MAGA as I was. Could it be that? Let's see.
He says, I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia, that they are too are fed up with her and her antics. And if the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support. She has gone far left, even doing The View with their low IQ Republican hating anchors.
Doing The View and not doing The View in. She was doing The View, not doing The View in. Maybe I need to go ahead and move down there to her district and run. I'm just saying.
Trump says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again.
Okay.
Technically true, based on what I've heard and what I know, that he didn't tell her not to run, but what she didn't say was that...
Tell us, Scott.
He sent her a poll.
Oh, a poll.
Privately, discreetly.
She didn't like it?
And it had information in it. And it showed her down 20 points to John Ossoff.
Oh!
And so in politics, when you want to send a message to someone that you like or that has been an ally, you don't embarrass them publicly. You privately send them information and show them what the reality is. And so I think it's true that he didn't tell her not to run, but it's also true that he did her a big favor, which is to show her information that a candidacy statewide in Georgia for her would have been a disaster.
And maybe her ego wouldn't accept that. And maybe she didn't want to deal with the reality. So now she's going, well, forget what you got to say. You know what? Maybe if I try to trick the people into thinking that I'm not the radical, extreme, hardcore MAGA Marjorie that I was. Maybe that. Maybe if I show them that I'm more in the middle and I'm willing to go in on Trump and criticize some stuff, maybe then they'll accept me without Trump's endorsement. Don't do it, March. It ain't worth it. You're going to lose it all. That's what's going to happen. If you run for something else, you're not going to win. And you'll probably lose what you got now. You'll probably lose your seat right now. Best thing to do is course correct. See, I love Marge enough to where right now, if she course corrected, I would be like, phew. But what hurts though is she got potential to stray. You're like, oh boy, the right thing come along, you might stray. But if she course corrects right now, she good. Let's continue.
I do think it started with that political engagement. When they sent her that poll, that's when you start to see everything change. She opposed the president on his Middle East policy, attacking the Houthi rebels, attacking Iran. She's opposed the president on deportations this summer. So she's sort of become a policy opponent of the president. But I think it really all started with that political engagement, and now she's one of his most frequent critics on some of what I would argue has been his biggest successes.
Right, and see, that's the problem. I'm saying you're criticizing stuff that I'm going, what? Well, you don't like us blowing up those drug boats? You didn't like that? The old Marge would have been like, hey, they shouldn't be bringing fentanyl over, killing our people. But this new Marge don't like that? I'm going, I like that. You don't like us sending ICE to send these folk? Could it be because your business is taking a hit? Or maybe, I don't understand. I like that. You don't like Trump negotiating all of these trade deals and business? I like that. So what's your problem, March?
This year. And, if you want to count yourself as an ally of the President of the United States, it's not great to go out or run out to The View and other places and crap on 24 hours a day. I mean, that's essentially what she's become. It's a well-worn path. A lot of other Republicans who've turned on the president have done that too.
But there's a difference.
But it's temporary. See, that's the problem. Yeah, they just go and use you and abuse you. And unless you completely convert to be a Democrat, they'll never really accept you. And we won't either. You can't be lukewarm. Either you got to be hot or cold, okay? Or else MAGA will spew you out the mouth.
And we just got a response from Marjorie Taylor Greene in the last few minutes.
Okay,
she posted this. She said, President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all, but I did send these text messages today. We'll show you those in a moment. She said, apparently this is what sent him over the edge, the Epstein files. And of course...
Back to the Epstein files. Back to the Epstein files, okay? For some reason, these certain groups of folks don't realize why Trump And I think he's played the Democrats. He let them go ahead and make this into a big issue and then said, now release it. Y'all been whining about I ain't gonna release it. Now let's go ahead and vote for it. Open it up. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend that hold the door, because they're trying to get in. And when they come in, everybody just move back, let them run in and run right off the cliff. Let them run right off the cliff. I think that's what he did to these Democrats. And the problem is these Republicans have given a lot of fuel to the Democrat Party because maybe they don't see the 3D chess. But nonetheless, and I get it. I want to see what's in there too. I want to see if there's bad people in there, they need to get it. But everything need to be done strategically. And then they don't understand what Trump is talking about when he's saying it's a Democrat hoax. He's not saying it's a hoax of what happened to these ladies. He's saying that it is a hoax that the Democrats are trying to link him to Epstein. And so Marge, in this reply, I'm saying, okay, parts of it I understand. But parts of it I'm going, you don't understand? I understand what you're saying, but you don't understand what Trump is up to, and that bothers me.
Of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example to scare all the other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein files.
And what did Trump do? Come out, Truth Social, I want all the Republicans to vote yes. Now you look like a fool. Now you look stupid, see? And you look just as stupid as the Democrats because the Democrats were doing the same thing. And this is what bothers, they don't understand the game. They don't understand the game that the Democrats are playing. You're playing their game. So he's like, hold. Yeah, see, they're right now, they're building a narrative. They think they got me on the ropes. They're sitting back talking about some. He's rope-a-doping them. And apparently you got roped into the rope-a-dope. Like that he won't, he's trying to stop us from seeing what, and I'm going, now what are you going to say? See, this is one of them same situations with the bombing of Iran. You said this, you said that, and then all of a sudden, it didn't happen. Now what are you going to say? So you're saying that he don't want to let people see it. He wants us all to not vote. Now he says, go ahead, vote for it. I want everybody to vote for it. Now what do you got to say? You look stupid.
She says it's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out.
So what are you saying? See, this is the problem. You're mad at him because he criticized you. Now you're starting to insert little things. It's astonishing how hard he's fighting. That sounds like a Democrat.
Actually goes to this level, she says. She went on to say, but really most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes.
What are you talking about? See, this is the stuff. Now, for the men and women of America, what foreign wars are we involved in? What, you don't think Trump's fighting for the men and women? You don't think he's fighting for the military, making sure they get raises, making sure they're not in unnecessary war? Now it sounds like you're throwing spaghetti on the wall.
Are going broke, trying to feed their families, and are losing hope of ever achieving the American dream.
See, you're killing the hope for anybody who's willing to jump on board with your mentality right there. And I'm going, right now, I feel better about the country than I did in a long time. And here you are talking about the hope, you're killing the hope. And I'm going, what are you talking about? If we could finally get rid of these darn Democrats, if we abolish the filibuster and get all of this stuff passed, okay, instead of worried about the Epstein files and stuff like that, then we would definitely be looking at a brighter future for the country. But instead, you're talking about if he would do this and that and this and that. I'm going, what would you do, Marge? What would you do better? Huh? Unreal.
That's what I voted for. I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him, even when almost all other Republicans turned their back and denounced him.
And for some reason, you just threw all that under the bus. Yes, I'm going to give her a little bit of credit because, see, I remember Marge on the trail. I remember how hard she fought and all that stuff. Great. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. My best friend, one of my best friends, he ran the 400-yard dash, y'all. And to this day, that was the funniest thing I ever seen with my naked eyeballs. If I die and go to heaven, God say, son, what would you like if you could get one thing? I'm going to say, would you let me see? Because this was before cameras and stuff, video. I'd be like, if you just let me see Rob running that 400-yard dash again, that's all I really want. That's all I want. That man, came down there with some high top leather Converses on, not even track shoes. He had straight basketball leather high top shoes on. Didn't want to run it, but our coach was like, hey, look, everybody got to run the 400-yard dash, 400-meter dash at least once. And so he got called. Actually, it was my day to run it, y'all, but I faked an injury. This was in high school. I faked the injury. I was like, oh, man, my knee. So he's like, all right, Rob, you're up. He sent Rob out there, y'all. And Rob, on the way to that line, one of the dudes in the audience said, yo, Rob, if you win, I'm going to buy you a C. Staples dinner. And back in the day, C. Staples was like this, be a barbecue joint. Rob was like, C. Staples. That man came out of those blocks like a bat out of hell. And anybody who knows about the 400-yard dash, you don't take off in the 400-meter dash like you're running a 40-meter dash. That dude came out, had a jerry curl with a tail, and both was blowing in the wind. That tail was blowing in the wind. That bangs, he had bangs, y'all. You know, you got shaving on the side. That's when we, got rid of the full umbrella curl. You don't want to go cold turkey on the curl. You know what I'm saying? So he had the side shave and he had the bangs over the top. Those bangs was blowing. That tail was blowing. And everybody in the audience, you booking when you hear the whole stand go, woo-wee. We're looking at this like, this got to be a record. That dude was like 100 meters ahead of everybody else. We like, this is going to be a record. And soon as he hit about that 200, maybe 250 mark, I would have swore either King Kong jumped out on top of his back because he caught the monkey, or somebody shot him right in his kidneys. He came almost to a complete stop. Not only did this man get caught with having 100-meter lead on these people, but he lost by like 100 meters. By the time he came up the last leg, up the last stretch, he was almost running backwards. You could tell his whole body was locked up. All the lactic acid was gone. And everybody in that audience was crying. You would have thought you was at an Eddie Murphy concert. He said, dude, all I remember is seeing this one dude named Aaron sliding down a pole with his mouth wide open. That's how hard he was laughing. He was sliding down the pole. We cracked up, man. Boy, he came in dead last. But hey, started off great. I mean, we was like, this dude's booking. Yeah, but he ended horribly. I don't want Marge Taylor to do that. I don't want her to go ahead and end horribly. Okay, hopefully she'll try to pull it back together. Pace yourself, Marge. Pace yourself. Let's continue.
And she also said, but I don't worship or serve President Trump. I worship God. Jesus is my savior, and I serve my district, G14, and the American people. I remain the same today as I've always been, and I will continue to pray that this administration will be successful because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. She said, for me, I remain America first and America only.
I don't know. When you're saying things like, we don't need to deport people, I'm going, I don't know about that. When you say Trump shouldn't be over the seas and all this, and I'm going, I don't know about that. I hear what you're saying. See, but I'm having a hard time buying it right now. Where did the Marge I knew and love go? Where did you go?
And these are those text messages that she referenced in that tweet.
Right back
you
to
see those
Jeffrey
on
Epstein.
your screen.
Here we go.
One of those going to somebody named Natalie in her phone. It says, in every single interview I have done, I have defended President Trump. I over and over,
Really?
the women say he did nothing wrong, and their attorney says he's the only one who helped. And the Democrats had 4 years to release the files, but did nothing. Stop ignoring the women. Many of them literally voted for President Trump and say so publicly. Them being raped as teenagers is not a hoax.
And see, that's the problem. Marge, you were smarter than that. You know Trump is not calling what happened to them a hoax. See, you're using that right there. And once again, either you're stupid, which I know you're not, or you're manipulating. Yeah, now you want to go ahead and kind of lightweight attack him because he attacked you. And talking about what happened to them is not a hoax. And I'm going, so you're too stupid to understand Trump's language. You don't understand what Trump is referring to when he talks about it's a hoax. You think he's saying that what took place with those. Now you're referencing all of these things in the text message about how Trump stopped Jeffrey. He told on Jeffrey. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He never was in it. But now all of a sudden, though, you want us to believe that Trump is saying all of that was a hoax? You think he's talking about what happened to the girls? That's what you think? But you give the people what they want by saying that stupid mess. And I'm going, see? Yeah, that's traitor type behavior.
She also attached this tweet addressed to someone labeled as DJT in her phone. It says that check the flight logs of Epstein's plane. Bill Clinton is on there like 26 times, Hillary too. For many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but also because we believed that the Democrat bad guys like the Clintons were entangled and involved with him. Epstein was the spider that wove the web of the deep state. Lean into it. Again, Marjorie Taylor Greene is claiming that this was a text message that she sent to President Trump. She says she believes this is what sent him over the edge today, as he just announced he is withdrawing his support and endorsement for her. Congress.
So now, do you really think that? Now, to close, she's saying, now she done listed all of that stuff that exonerates Trump. All of the stuff that proved that Trump was totally against it. Trump did not support this guy. He despised this guy. But then you go ahead and say, Trump is saying it's a hoax. You don't want to kind of maybe read into that a little more and say, okay, now wait, is he calling what happened to the girls a hoax, or is he talking about something else? But here's what really gets me. Y'all ready for this? It's the closeout. So that brings us all to this. This is where I say Marjorie Taylor Greene has left us. I'm willing to deal with a broken heart. Yeah, owner of a broken heart. So watch how she now tries to change her image and retract on how undeniably MAGA she was. She's now going to try to appeal to a broader audience. And that's what makes me think you got bigger aspirations that your radical side won't, you feel it won't allow you to venture into. So here, watch this apology.
So, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism, and I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country, and it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions, and I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another.
Do you think that's going to happen? You think you and your apology is going to bring everybody together? You think all of those people who celebrated Charlie Kirk assassinated is going to change their mind now? They're going to get together with us and sing Kumbaya? Do you think that's what's going to happen? What do you think you're doing by this? What minds on the left do you think you're about to change by trying to apologize and give them what they want? All they're going to do now is parade your butt around to show that she's one of the good Republicans. Look at that. She recognizes Trump's rhetoric is too mean, and the Republicans and MAGA. And I'm going, why would you do that? Do you think these people will ever accept you? Do you think we are in some type of very soft, gentle war with the radical left? You think all they really want to hear is us tone down the rhetoric? I mean, it's unbelievable. This is a foolish apology. Who are you trying to appease? Who are you trying to woo by making this apology? They ain't going to. We liked you because you were raw and uncut and you told it like it was. I don't like this version. Okay, now we got to break up. I'm sitting there going, I used to love you, Marge Greene, but I don't dig you no more. You up here talking about, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. And they're going, yeah, we got one. We got one. We broke one. What do you think this is going to get you? It's going to stick you right in the middle and you'll get nothing. They won't accept you, and neither will we.
And we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have.
I can't stand hearing that. I can't stand hearing that. I can't stand when Democrats use that all the time. When they radical folks do something stupid out there, it's important they realize we got far more in common than we have. And no, we don't. We don't have nothing in common with these people when they are excited about killing Republicans. Yeah, when these folks are calling us Nazis, fascists, white supremacists, racists, when these folks want full-blown open borders, 9-month abortion, kids being transgendered, and you talk about we got more in common than we have. And I'm going, no, we don't. Men and women's bathrooms, men and women's sports, is that in common enough for you? What are you saying? I know it sounds good on paper, but in reality, we all know it is not. We know that if these people could break us and make us submit like you're doing right here with that stupidity, they'll run all over us. And you talking about we have more in common than, and I'm going to vow to be more. They're going to run all over you. Unreal.
Differences. And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
Yeah, that sounds good and all. As they sit back and try to desecrate Charlie's grave and all of that stuff. I thought we need to set that. Do you think these people want to hear that mess? That's going to soften them up? I mean, this is what really bothered me about this whole thing. It wasn't all that other stuff. Yeah, that bothered me. But then when I see the apology and the appeasement, basically what you're saying is all the stuff that I said that was real, that made me be beloved by MAGA, made me stand out, made me make sure that I drew a line in the sand and everybody knew that this woman don't take no crap. She's going to tell it like it is. All that stuff was wrong. That's what you're saying. You're basically wiping away the history that made you great. That's what you did. You just wiped away the history that made you great. And it's sickening to watch. You never apologize to the left.
To put a button on this, you regret the things that you have said and posted in the past.
You regret?
The
she gonna rub it in her face.
Post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists. Now
look at that. You see how they treat you, March? Yeah, it ain't just enough for you to apologize. Now I'm gonna rub it in your face. I'm gonna pick an example and read it to everybody to let them know how we looked at you, how foul you were. And then I want to see you apologize for it. You see, boy, I tell you.
A tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama. Just examples.
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course, I never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then. And I very much stand by my words I said then. And I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end all the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
Your example. Exactly. That's what happened. You shouldn't have been talking crap. So now you got to grovel on CNN as they sit back and rub their thumb in your wound. That's what they did. Sat back, got you to apologize, and then that wasn't enough. Yeah, so you mean like, for example, let me read something you did. Remember you did this and that, and you said this and that? Yeah, thanks for the first apology you gave, but I want another one. Let's see how far we can go ahead and abuse you and take advantage of this new Marjorie Taylor Greene that wants to be inclusive and talking about that we got more people, things in common than... So stupid. Maybe, though, there's something in it for her that we don't see. Maybe for whatever reason... I don't know if they got some on her. I don't know if she's trying to boost her career and trying to branch out and don't think I don't know what it is, but what I just heard come out of her sounds stupid and naive. And I know the other Marjorie Taylor Greene was not stupid and naive. I've seen the true Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know who this is. So, yeah, this new Marge done broke my heart. Yeah, say you're the greatest. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, y'all. You guys are the greatest. I couldn't do this without you. And look at this. I done mustered up 158 folks watching this show in the morning time, during the daytime, y'all. Yeah. See, instead of watching The View, y'all can watch me. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I had to get that off my chest. I was going to talk about something else, which I'll be doing tomorrow. Oh, well, look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at that. He heard me with my clothes, and he came up here. He said, would you pick Gizmo up? And show everybody my new handsome haircut. You getting a little mohawk there. Starting to look like Stripe instead of Gizmo. Starting to look like Stripe. Yeah. Yeah, he was down there sniffing Nala because you know she's in heat. He's, come here. Where you going? Let me talk to you. Girl, look. Now, I know I ignore you most of the time. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Things are different now. Because I don't know what that smell you got, that perfume you got. But it sure is attractive. Ain't that right, Gizmo? Yeah. And then Nala wants to come up here too. Yeah, she almost jumped up here in my arms. Yeah, come up. You know what? She's on it. Shh. You got a burper. Turn around. Let the people see you, Nala. Yeah. Look at that. Look at those beady little eyes. Always into mischief. Are you into mischief? Or are you simply running from Gizmo trying to molest you? Yeah. Oh, boy. But anyway. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. All of those who gave in the super chat, I appreciate that. And all of those who, checked out my link, my PayPal Cash app link, and the Help Kevin Get a New Computer Foundation. I appreciate that too. It's definitely going to good use. And like I said, when I get it, I'm going to celebrate with y'all because we did it. It wouldn't be just me. It was definitely an unexpected expense. And I'm like, man, I love my computer, man. It's breaking my heart. It's killing me. So I'm working with what I got right now, but I definitely need to replace that until YouTube get off my back and I never have to ask y'all for anything again. That's the real hope. That's what I really want. So we'll see what becomes of Marjorie Taylor Greene in this little feud with her and Trump. But she better tread carefully. That's what I'm saying. She broke my right now. If I had to go ahead and endorse her, I wouldn't. It'd be like after what I saw, I'm like, no. Yeah. You ever apologizing, going on tour with all of these networks and letting them take advantage of your new found revelation? I'm going, Don't like it. I don't like it at all. So yeah, Trump, I think he's right on this one. All right. But God bless. Don't forget, hit the like button on the way out. Share my videos. Follow me on all the other platforms. And subscribe to my alternative channel. And we will see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Y'all did. Yeah. Real bone killer. Gorillas in here, gorillas in here, gorillas in here, gorillas in here. Take care. God bless.